All right, starting from the top.
Oh, hello.
How's it going?
It's good. I've been twiddling my thumbs for hours on end over here.
Jeez, like one of us must have like said they were ready and then fallen asleep for 2 hours.
Yeah, it
Who
sounds like me.
who must have that have been? Yeah, skill issue.
Doesn't sound like a cave goblin champ, I'll say that.
It sure doesn't. I'm very sorry about that. That was my bad.
Are you ready for the ultimate bracket off of the century?
I sure am. Care to tell the folks at home what we will be doing today?
All right, courtesy of our good friend Tortugatron, who just decided to do this out of nowhere. We have a bracket of every single champion in the game right now and every single common in the game right now. And we're just gonna go through and choose them. And I think the plan is he's gonna set up uh like polls every week, and then like people will pick, and then like we'll decide as a community which advances and all that stuff. But we are just gonna do it amongst the two of us ourselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if we tie on something. I assume I just win out because I'm better than you, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to decide the rules there. So yeah, go over to the content streaming channel. Or wait, now it's called content creation. You know that channel. That's where Tortugatron's posted this. You can download this bracket and then just press like file, make a copy. You can predict like what you think the winners will be. Like I think there's some sport that does this. I don't really recall which. I don't think it's kind of
Okay.
obscure. Um,
Uh,
and then also there'll be like a form to fill out every week for that week's matchups. And Tortugatron says do it like by whatever qualifications you want, like most
Yeah.
powerful, like just favorite looking, like yeah, whatever qualifications you think should cause it to win. Vote for
Me
that.
personally, my qualifications are what's the best, and every single time I'm choosing which one's the best. So I don't know why you would ever doubt me or choose something different than me, because I'm choosing the best one. So,
I mean, the best is like the best. That tracks. Um, yeah.
Also, I feel like with champions specifically, I'm like names and stuff, I'm gonna forget or mix things up. So I might need some visual
Who the
aids.
hell is Mirrodin? Okay, I did pop this up so I can like if we need like a quick like need to remember who the hell Mirrodin is.
Good,
Look at
good.
this aid over here.
This is exactly the aid I was hoping for.
Yeah, and maybe some I imagine this will take more than one stream. Oh, it turns out we're not playing Celeste music right now. I guess I can take that off screen. I think it'd be fun to sometime as well, maybe after this, like go through faction by faction because it's interesting to think like among like a faction, like what are your favorites and what are the qualifications there? Like I just like briefly peeked at the master set and it made me think like game like the most interesting qualification for me was like game like just game design, like what were the most like interesting w's for game design for a given faction, and like and that's it's not something I've necessarily thought about before, like for each card. uh,
Yeah, I think that would be fun to like go through that. And like I've been thinking about that a little bit with the master set and stuff too. It's like these were the first ones I played, and just how each one made me think like, oh, this game is capable of this now. Like, oh, it's cool.
yeah, so I feel like if I had to give like the qualifications that I would probably be basing cards by, like one would be design, which would just be like really well designed cards. Two would be like how happy I am when I play a card. And I don't recall things like off of hand, but like that might lean more towards the cards that are just like really powerful. Like feels really good to play Silts. Like it feels really good to like just like plop a smasher on the board and hit for four. Like how just like how much does it like give me little tingles every time I play the card? And then three would be artwork. I think those are like the three general qualifications I'd have for my favorite cards. What is a favorite?
Yeah, and again, mine are what's the best, and so
Yeah,
that's
which is
my
so
one
we
and only qualification.
yeah, we will judge it based on that. Shall we begin then?
Yeah, let's go do a little champies.
Let's do some champions. Oh, and I should share my screen with you. So how do we I
Do you want to send a thing out to the masses, by the way?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if you.
yeah, yeah. I can do that. Or something. I mean, heck, you could do that now.
I'm not allowed to do that. I don't know. My keyboard's broken.
Yeah, that's fair. So how will we set it? I think what'll make this the most fun is that we have to agree amongst ourselves, or you just have the last word. So like we we have to somehow create the same one bracket for the two of us, and we can both make second separate back brackets later and whatnot if we want to. Um,
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I think that's fair. Like, this is you're the host of the stream, so like, you could be the tiebreaker and all these things.
n-
But I
uh,
think if we agree on it, it'd be nice.
do you think we should try our best to agree on it, and then
Yeah,
like if we can't, one of us could just win out, and the other one gets like a gimme or something that they can redeem later.
yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Let me just or do you want to be the tiebreaker? No, let me just post about it. You can think on this.
I mean, if you give me the ultimate power, I will use it.
Hmm.
But I will see. I will hear
It's
your
it's
arguments.
it's all right. It's up to you. Which would you prefer? You prefer ultimate power? Or you prefer
No,
democracy?
a little more egalitarian.
All right, all right. Yeah. Let me just send a quick post.
Boop boop. Oh, I thought you would send it. Boop boop.
Nope.
Trying to time it to when you send it. Boop boop. Boop boop.
Oh. And the other way you could do this is you could try to predict what the community is going to vote, but that seems kind of lame.
Yeah, that does seem kind of lame. Our opinions are better than the community's anyway.
Yeah. Shall we begin? What are these little numbers? How to bracket? Is this supposed to be the seed? Like the
No, I
numbers?
think there's no seeding because he just did it randomly.
Yeah.
These are just he's gonna fill those in, I think, for the amount of votes with the community.
I see. I see. I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. Shall we go from the top at the red conference?
Commence.
And then yeah, I'll just like show the whole thing. You can see. So where
Okay. Well,
we
I think
do.
what we should do, I think we should do it round by round so
Okay.
that we have like a build up kind of thing. So let's start with the play-ins, which are the leftmost and rightmost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The plans. I knew that word too. I do sports.
Totally. Yep.
Lucia, and
All
so
right.
and just tell me if you want the visual if you want the visual aid.
I,
Lucian
I
versus Wrath.
I think we should have the visual aid for all of these things.
That's gonna take so fucking long. Okay, no, that's great. You need to like fill the space while I find it then though. That's the
All
only
right,
requirement.
Lucian is totally one of the Shadow Elves champs, and I know which one it is. I think it's the one that has boosts accumulate on it. Am I correct
Yes,
on
you
that?
are.
Yes. All right, I don't play a lot of Shadow Elves. Lucian, it's
It's
pretty
good to
cool.
have the artwork too.
Yeah, the art is good. Yeah, so we can analyze it. Lucian's art is cool the more you look at it too, with the like light and the dark coming
Yeah,
out.
like I love
Like,
artwork that like it take like 2 months later I noticed something about it. I'm like Ava has little teeth. That's creepy.
yeah, I will say Wrath. You don't see Wrath a lot, but whenever it comes out in my games, I feel like he leads me to win every time.
It's
Like
a
in Turtle Panic, when I played the birds, he dealt the killing blow in both of my games, which was
wow.
awesome.
Wow. That's surprising. Yeah, I feel like I literally never play Wrath, but like always am willing to. Like I'm never he's always in the back pocket. He, she, it.
Yeah.
Always in the back pocket.
I think I mean, he's an aggressive guy for sure. But he's one you can protect as well with his ability, things like that too. I
Uh
think like I
yeah.
like power wise, these guys are probably about the same. Wrath being more leans aggressive, Lucian leans more econ slash defensive,
Yeah.
but I think they're pretty similar.
Yeah. I feel like they're both on the like slightly underpowered side. In that
Yeah.
like Wrath is just kind of that, and Lucian just has the sour fate of being a Shadow Elves champ when Shadow Elves don't need champs at all. So
Interesting that
one
Lucian
second.
costs less and has more health. If you're
Uh,
just comparing
yeah, don't know.
and is ranged. Interesting.
Yeah, it feels like I mean, like that qualification I have for how satisfying it is to play a champion. If the champion is like even just a little bit underpowered, it really hits that. It feels a lot less satisfying to drop a 6 mana 4/7 than the 8 mana 3/11. You know?
Yeah, but Wrath doesn't feel underpowered. He definitely hits for 4 and is can move almost anywhere on the board.
All right, I feel like we're gonna disagree on this. I vote Lucian. I take Lucian.
I'm voting Wrath.
Ah, fuck.
All right, how about
I
this?
don't need to die on this hill. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna decide a qualifier for the tiebreaker here,
Oh,
and the qualifier is who has a better name for their specific thing. In this specific case, that's gonna be the qualifier. Okay.
in just this case, who has the better name?
Yeah, and you get to decide who has the better name. This is the tiebreaker for this one.
You can't just put this on me.
I can. You
I
gotta do it.
I will
Five,
note that I had a friend that
four.
picked up Wrath and said, "I'm gonna play Ruth," which is uh one of
Maybe.
one of the funnier moments. I'm really not too attached to this one, so I think Wrath is a pretty stupid name, but I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna go with Wrath.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I don't I don't I don't really need Lucian in my life, you know.
I think Wrath is a pretty cool name, but
I think Lucian's a cooler name, but I feel bad taking it from you. That's
All
fine.
right. Let's move on down. Casemira versus Devura.
All right, but fill the air.
All right, we got Casemira.
God, who
It's
the
a
hell
Crimson
is
Order
Casimir
who
from?
just leads us
Goodness.
to having unending cultists more than we already do. Versus what? Devura? Devura from OD? Oh, come on now.
No
Devura
Devura.
Devura is awesome and leads you to do more awesome things with Balzar
Yeah,
and
this is
leads
this
to
is
all
easy.
of the craziest combos.
This is easy.
I mean, are you
Three,
agreeing with
two,
Devura?
one. Casimara. No, Devura. It's easy. Devura. Devura is awesome.
Devura.
Casimara is very satisfying in like that she's like good. Devura is just like really interesting. Why did Devura look so like thick in this as opposed to I guess Casimara is like bones. I guess that makes sense.
Devura's a dwarf. Come on now.
All right. All right. That was quick. Yeah, Devura, it's just so much fun. Coordinated strike, fun. I'm
Yeah.
having fun already just thinking about it.
And it leads to a little more consistency with OD than
Yeah.
you
If
would
OD's at
expect.
5 attack, you are running for your life. Or at 5 magic, you're running for your life.
Mm-hmm.
All
All right.
right.
To Samara versus Makenda Rue. We have Samara here. Actually a champ that I like from the Shadow Elves is pretty cool. The art also is really cool.
Yeah.
Versus Makenda Rue, who is just very strong, but also a copy of a common.
Yeah, Mickey and Daru wins points for like feels really satisfying to play, probably because she's slightly overtuned. I don't
Yeah,
know. 5 magic 4/9 is kind of good.
yeah, and just very
um,
strong.
Yeah,
Also, it's a 4/9 you can split, which is even more powerful. Like you could go attack one thing, then something else.
I think Maki Underru is one of the few examples of like, maybe not great game design. You just took a common and made it a champion with more health, and it's really strong. It's just like I don't know. You could have made this more interesting. So
I'm glad that they went like this is one of the only examples of that, right? Or like of a common or a
yeah,
champion that is a common that's better.
yeah. I mean, and sometimes it definitely like would have its place and be interesting. I don't know. It's yeah. I enjoy playing her because she wins me games, but and she's got an
Yeah.
eagle, like points for the eagle or whatever. Like what
Points
type of
for the
birds?
eagle, definitely points for the eagle. Points for
Yeah.
the arrows, although only 5 arrows. It makes me think of that SNL sketch when they had Jeremy Renner and he's being Hawkeye and all the Avengers and he's like they're like, "All right, Hulk, go attack the thing." And Jeremy Renner comes over, he's like, "I'm out of arrows, guys." We're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I had like 4 arrows, I shot him."
maybe she's got a second quiver like on the other side. You just can't see it.
Maybe
I
the
wouldn't worry
eagle
about it.
goes and picks them out of bodies.
Say that again.
The eagle goes and picks arrows out of dead bodies.
Yeah, no, literally, that's so thematic. Okay, it's this is easy for Samara. Samara, cool. I feel like Samara is the easy favorite of the Shadow Elves champs.
Yeah, I do think also Samara's ability, which we didn't really talk about, is cool and is like 4 attack is strong, so you can reliably kill a lot of stuff. But also there is that drawback, which is fun, even if it is like crushing in certain cases.
No, I love it. It's great. It's like the eater, but like you have to like put down your own pet. Like the eater is like you play the eater, and it's like this is gonna be great, and then it's like oh the eater's 4 spaces away from the nearest enemy unit. Fuck.
Yeah.
But then
Well, and
Samara,
also
yeah,
it's not as punishing as the Eater too. The Eater, it's like I paid 6 magic for this thing and it just disappears.
yeah,
Versus like this, I pay 5 magic for and I take a damage. It's like
yeah,
that's manageable.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, very very cool design. Good stuff.
All right, Samara. 2 Shadow Elves movement. Oh wait, no, we didn't pick Lucian.
Didn't pick Lucian. Yeah. I mean, I gave it to you. I gave it to you. Lucian's cool though. Midi Mumway versus Olag. Need I even bring anything up?
Midi Mumway, one of the most powerful champs in the game.
Oh snap! I
They
mean,
tried with Mumway.
did they? Did they really? Because this really smells like Master Set was like had a deadline in a week, and Colby just shat something out. I mean, and I don't say that lightly. There's very little of that in the Master Set, but like, what role does this even have in the deck? Like, I don't,
Yeah, I think
I don't know if they tried.
I think there is a lot of the like champions that serve different niches is when the champions are the best. And this one just seems like a bunch of stats. And that's not really a niche that Savannah Elves of any of all factions needs. They have a lot of
Yeah.
stats.
Exactly. And like when I was talking with Cell on the on the remastered set, I was like, I really struggle to be like, what would I change about MIDI Mumway? Because like I would want to like create a new interesting niche that it like the faction that the card fills for the faction, but I don't want to fucking buff Savannah Elves. Like Savannah Elves are fine. I don't want to like give them a new interesting tool that would like kind of change their deck or like give them a totally different way of playing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a bucket of
In
stats
terms
for
of
no
game
reason.
design, it is a champ that costs 8, which is like a threshold essentially. But that's about it.
Yeah, they definitely hadn't champs were not quite balanced yet. Didn't realize quite how much of a punch an 8 magic champ needs to pack in Summoner
Yeah.
War second edition.
Meanwhile, Olag is strong and just like he's just a dude. He's got a icy sword, which I'm noticing now for the first time.
Pretty hot,
That's
like
cool.
I'm vibing with it.
Yeah. He's a dwarf guy. And he buffs everything on the board essentially for you.
Very very satisfying to play. Like, you know.
Yeah, and then it shows you too. It's like it's a melee thing, but also you do want to protect it, so it's kind of like teaching new players like don't just run up with this thing and let it die.
Yeah, yeah.
But you also do want to run up with it in order to use it. So there's that push and pull,
And
which I
it's one line of text for all that. Like, chef's
mm-hmm.
kiss. Wow.
Good job, Oleg. You can advance, even though you have no soul as a redhead.
Damn. That's hard. Uh,
Redheads, we love you.
Ragnar versus Albus the Wise.
Interesting.
Might fight about this one.
Ragnar, Tundra Orcs champ.
Ragnar.
Who
Oh,
is
I was going to Balzar.
no.
It's also a good tester is how well I know my champs. All right, keep going.
Ragnar, who is the one champ in Tundra Orcs who like gives you more consistency. But I feel like
Playable.
What'd you say? You said unplayable?
I said unplayable.
How dare you? Don't make me get off of this stream. No, he's good. I like his ability too, and it doesn't really come up that much as much of a thing, but he is just a beefy boy, and he hits pretty hard, and he's usually playable.
Yeah, and in the Tundra
Albus
Orcs, this ability is fun. Like getting extra boost on your summoner for some Tundra Orcs is very fun.
Albus the Wise, meanwhile, completely unplayable. His cost is unreasonable.
0 cost Albus when?
No, I think I like Albus a lot actually. And he's
Good.
just the guy, he's just fun to play around too. It's like think about all of the ways.
Yeah, he adds a lot. He loses points for me as like a must play champ. Like how many High Elves games do not involve Albus? He's just like really good. Like so much utility, like knocking out peace and atone auras on your turn, one-shotting lionesses, like just so much utility. Very 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 fun. Feels powerful.
I think people, and maybe this is where you're coming from too, of like, I think people think a lot about 3-cost champions as must play, but I think that's just because you usually have 3 magic, whereas like with other things you have to build towards it. But like, I don't think he's a must play. I think you could definitely build him and try and get Titus or something like that. Like me personally, I like Titus more than the average person, I think, but
That's fair. I
like
mean, yeah.
and like Titan and Maldar, these other 3-cost champs, people think of as like must play, but it's like, what if you don't? And you just use them as magic in order to build for those other ones that are bigger and that could be more powerful. But people tend to be like, I have 3 magic, I will play this.
I think the danger, as I see it, is it's just there is more of a danger for designing low cost champions because if they're slightly overtuned, like that's gonna have a much bigger effect on the game because they're so much easier to get out. I'm not saying Albus is necessarily slightly overtuned, but it's a more dangerous space game design ways because I think champs should always kind of be situational fun stuff. They should never be like you have to play this to win. And yeah, there's definitely games where like in the early games like, oh, I don't want to play Albus. I don't know. I feel like I struggle to see a high elf situation where I would draw Albus and not want to play Albus unless I am like getting shot at by Balzar, who is like in my back row and like I need to draw commons or something like, and unless the enemy is putting pressure on me, I feel like I'm always playing Albus.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
high elf
fair.
pro, by the way.
He's pretty powerful, so that's fair. Like of all the 3-cost champs, I think he's probably the best. Like I don't know, Maldar's probably more powerful, but I think Albus is more fun and interesting.
Maldar's secretly kind of mid. I don't know. That's my take.
Maldar is powerful, but if you have an engine rolling, you don't need it anyway. So, and a lot of the people who are good at fungal dwarves already have that engine going.
Yeah.
Anyway, different champ. I think Albus probably is my pick here.
I agree. Look, we haven't even like disagreed yet. I guess it's gonna get harder as like the later tiers.
Yeah, as we get more invested.
Cyrook and Shock. Oh, fuck. Really?
Oh,
Round one, we need to pick between Cyrook and Shock? Are you fucking kidding me? Well,
only one.
this is like a last round sort of decision. Like these two could be in the finals.
Yeah, this is tough. For Shonky Boy, my favorite. He's not my favorite, but he is so good, and I call him Shonky Boy.
He definitely wins so many points on the satisfaction. It is really, really satisfying to get an 11 health unit for 5 magic that also sometimes one-shot Citadel Knights. Like, hot stuff.
Yeah. One of
And
my
like,
friends I introduced this game to, and he played Shonk, and he was absolutely loving it. He was rolling all 8 dice at the same time and just going, Shonk!
yeah, like how can you not go like shonk? Like it's just it's great. Great fun was had by all. Even if
Mhm.
it is maybe a little bit on the strong side. Just a tad.
Meanwhile, Cyruk, who is a blue jay, but a human, is pretty cool. I mean, Cyruk is super powerful, right? If in the right situation.
But
Takes a
you
lot
need to
of.
like get good. Like I'll play Cyruk and just like dies immediately.
I know, and then you'll watch people who are like awesome and have
But
Cyruk the entire game.
yeah, I watch Idea play and like you just get value. You have Cyruk hitting for 4 worthy dice every turn of the game, and it's like, well, that was it busted.
Also, Cyruk is your unofficial banner of the 5 worthy dice miss.
Flash that real quick. Yeah. Um, man, it's tough. I feel like we're winning in 2 different areas. Shank is fun, and I really take your point, especially fun for new players. Like Shank is fun. Cyruk is like really tactical, interesting
Mhm.
gameplay. So you kind of need to pick which one you're favoring there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I have a tiebreaker. Well, I'm voting Chunk. I don't know if you're voting Cyruk.
I think I was gonna swallow. Oh my goodness, I'm like kind of sick and I like can't talk. I was gonna vote Cyruk for like the like going on the game design aspect, but I'm voting against my heart here because like I love Shank more.
hmm All right, here's the tiebreaker. Who has a stronger receding hairline?
All right, you gotta answer some of your own tiebreakers. Don't put me on the spot like this. I'm looking at Cyruk. I'm not like I don't really know what counts as hair here. What do you think?
No, that was a rigged one. Look at Chunk's hairline. It's ridiculous.
I mean, like, does having no hair count as the strongest receding hairline? Not really.
It's true. Or is the hair all on the backside for Cyruk?
Yeah, that's not like you. It's a difficult question. Um, baby, because my heart is with Shonk, I'm willing to go Shonk.
Let's go, Shunk.
All right, let's do it.
Sorry, Cyruk, you were a victim of the
We
randomizer.
haven't like I'm waiting for something to drop and us to rip each other's throats out.
Yeah.
Baldo and Sprocket. Baldo's
All
gonna
right,
fucking win this.
we got Baldo, who is very strong. He's not my most played champ in Wayfarers, but he's probably everyone else's most played champ.
Oh my
What are you
goodness.
doing?
I always click on Mountain Vargath when I mean to click on Forge. This is like a thing. I've accidentally queued Mountain Vargath games when I've meant to use Forge game. Keep talking.
I like Sprocket a lot. I feel like he's probably given the least amount of shine in the Discord about the champs of the Forged, but I think he's really strong and he just favors that assassination style, which is like what the Forged want to be doing anyway. At least it seems like it. So I don't know. I like him a lot. I feel like he's dismissed often.
Yeah, both definitely very cool.
Yeah, Boldo obviously is very strong and powerful.
Yeah, Baldo. Baldo is like competing to be like best champ that exists. Just like very
Yeah.
incredibly powerful ability. This will get you anything. Get
At
you
Gen
anywhere
Con,
you want to be. Yeah.
at Gen Con when I played Wayfarers, I was playing against this guy who I don't think was on the Discord or online or much. And I moved Baldo and attacked, and then after attacking, moved, and he goes, "Oh, you can do it after moving and attacking." Whoa! And that's like what won me the game was that move. I was like, "Oh man, I didn't know you didn't know that."
Yeah, it definitely it's one of the few like bones I would pick with the wording of cards. This should say after each time this unit moves or attacks. That would be clear.
Yeah. Some people think that Baldo is like the strength level that every champ should be, but
Oh
I
my
for one am
god.
glad that every
Jesus.
champ is not that
No.
strong.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Would you think Baldo would still be like super good at 5 Magic 3/7?
Yeah, because his health isn't his like that's not what makes him good. His ability is what makes him good.
Yeah.
And his three swords.
Yeah.
And 7 and 8, I mean, those are pretty like negligible differences.
We also got to acknowledge the artwork. Like it's
Top
like
tier. I'm just
yeah.
noticing the gems on the shoes. He's
I
wearing
know.
cleats.
Like yeah, there's it's hard to vote against him. Got such a winning smile. So I am for Baldo.
Well, sorry, Sprocket. You're cool.
Yeah. You're cool too.
You can't hear us because you're not sentient, but you know.
All right, so that's the pre-games or whatever you called them.
Those are the play-ins.
All right, the play yeah, that's well, like, what did you say? That's what I said.
Moving on to the first round.
Oh goodness. It begins.
Whew. Wrath versus Titus. A couple of champions that people don't play a lot, I don't think.
Yep. Hard to Titus is like I think it's like very fun in theory. Like having both Valeria and Titus adjacent to your enemy summoner, you just like box them in and they cannot leave.
Hmm. And yet you were complaining about this very situation when you played him the other day, even though it won you the game.
I just don't play him. I don't know why. I don't really. I don't know what's going on. Do you play Titus?
I play him every once in a while. I think high elves have the same situation that shadow elves have, which is their commons are so good, so you want to play all their commons, and therefore you don't play the champs as much. Or at least,
Slash the other two champs are really low cost and insanely good.
yeah. I don't think that's that good, but that's just me.
You don't think who's that good?
Cassia.
I mean, like when I watch Prophet play, I bow in fear of what Cassia does for Prophet. So
Yeah, that's fair. Of these two, I personally like Titus more, but they're probably both win more champs than like win you the game champs.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
But I think Titus is cool.
You like Titus more? I'm willing to go for Titus.
Titus representing the long hair community.
Yeah. Yeah. Titus, I'm typing Titus the Devout every single time. All right.
You spelled it wrong.
Dragos versus Sinsin.
Ooh, weird ones. Dragos.
Dragos is weird just because you don't play Fallen Kingdom, you freak.
I play Fallen Kingdom, and I play Dragos most of the time when I do play Fallen Kingdom. Look at his like claws; they're so bizarre and scary.
I love it. Yeah, so Dragos wins on like the satisfaction scale because like I play him so often because he's the only playable Fallen Kingdom champ.
Playable. I think people go too harsh with playable. Like he's good. He's just expensive. That's why.
Yeah, but Magic isn't Fallen Kingdom. One of their hits is like unique relationships to Magic. I love it. Like Cave Goblins, unique relationship to Magic. Love it. Daymar, unique relationship to magic, hate it. Fallen Kingdom, yeah, like I love that. Like it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be discarding all my freaking archers because I'm not playing them, so I'm gonna have some extra magic. I can play a six magic champ.
Exactly. I think that's good, and his ability is strong when you use it. It and like
Yeah,
works works for them too. It's like you do want to be killing yourself sometimes. Kill a carrier so you have it in your discard, so then you can infect something. Kill
yeah.
a cultist so it
And this
explodes.
is really threatening. Knock out a 5 health unit with these dice. Like it's pretty likely. I don't know what
Pretty
the odds
likely.
are. Jexix says Dragos is the best champ in a deck with bad champs. Sinsin is the opposite.
Yeah, that's fair. Although Sinsin is, I don't know, Sinsin is mostly just a ball of stats, but being zero cost has its benefits with obviously with Dagger. Infiltrate is a fun ability, but it's also kind of like a you don't use it very much.
Honestly, like I feel like Sinsin gets some hate. Well, I hadn't heard that much hate, and then Cell came on. Really not a fan of Sinsin. And I feel like in general people like don't aren't a huge fan of Sinsin. I think Sinsin is great. I feel like I'm like about to like start my like Cloaks redemption arc because I keep talking about like cool game design in the Cloaks, but like Sinsin is like the perfect chant for me and like interesting niche that it fills. Like interesting
Yeah.
assassination possibilities. Like there is like this like in order to play her well, if she dies, that's like pretty much always an L. You should not have played her at that point, but like just like get her in there, takes 4 damage, retreats, is never seen again, but you still have her in the back in case you want to copy her for an assassination. Like I think plays a fun and interesting role in the deck. Good champ
Yeah.
design, great champ design.
People talk about the bandit and her ability to get to the back row. It's like kind of a trap, and it is, but it's like the point of it is not for you to have that thing get to the back row. The point is for Vlox, if he ever gets a little too crazy, has escapability basically by copying them.
Which
And her
is fun.
escapability,
It's a
yeah,
fun it's
and
a
her
fun niche thing.
escapability
Yeah.
is good. Like
Yeah,
it
very good.
damage. Yeah. Anyway, I of these two, hmm, I like I have a tough time between these two.
I
I do
do
like
too.
both.
Sorry.
I like them both.
I do too. I feel like I've just talked myself into. I don't know why. I seem to be like in a mood right now where I'm favoring interesting game design over like the champs that like I love with all my heart. Like I
Hmm.
love Dragos more, but Sinsin is more intriguing to me at this particular hour.
Yeah, and I'm willing to go that way as well. Dragos really is mostly just strong, whereas Sinsin is interesting.
So, all right. Sounds like we have a victor.
Sinsin.
All right. Who the hell is Mirrodin? Don't know. Should we just move on? All right. Volcor and the Admiral. Ugh.
Oh, Mirrodin's cool.
Mirrodin is cool.
I'm
I
a
haven't
little
been. Oh my
sick
goodness! I clicked on. Okay, I think we figured out the issue. I click on the same color because Mountain Vargath and Forged are both brown. Swampworks Hecate are both green. Anyway,
of
no,
I'm a little
don't
sick.
buy things.
I'm a little sick of playing the Deepwood Gropes right now, I will say.
I am like not at all. I haven't queued into them like at all. I had my like 20 games kick. Like I got some W's and then I haven't really played them since. So
Anyway, Mirrodin I think is the most fun for me of the champs. Maybe not, but it's a
really
fun.
over
Yeah,
Kaylee?
yeah, Calyx probably the most fun for me actually. But Mirrodin is cool and like lets you do the part of the deck that is like the most interesting to me, which is the potions, rather than the like just balls of stats and boosts and things that we've seen before.
That's fair. I feel like champ design wise, like Mirrodin's like an easy design for the deck of like You have potions. A champ that reclaims a potion, sure. Like not super interesting for me in that way. Like kind of satisfying to play. I don't know. Like fun wise, solid like B tier champ for me.
That's fair. Uncle
Uncle
Sparks,
Sparks is
mhm,
just got a
yeah,
winning smile.
he's a handsome boy.
You know,
He's a mobile structure. Also, he's an uncle. Like we never talk about the fact that
who is he the
he's an
uncle of?
uncle of Krusk. Is
He's the
is he just
spider. Like this is just like such a like. Yeah, everyone loves Uncle Sparks.
generally an uncle to everyone? He has uncular energy. What's the there's a word for that, not uncular, it's something else. Avuncular? I think that's what it is.
Cool, I'll trust you.
But yeah, and his ability's cool. I don't use it very much, but just the fact that he's a structure is cool. And
Yeah.
that's what I use anything.
Yeah, he's like looks great. Um, like fun to play, design wise, like it's does a shit ton for the deck. Like you get to your end game with like 15 magic and three scavengers, just play Uncle Sparks 4 times. Like it's like such an interesting niche you can do, and top wrench, reclaim structure, like just such an essential part of the sand goblins.
Totally.
Love
And
it.
he has a pot belly, so I'm a fan of that.
Me too, me too. Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy.
Give it to the unk.
The Unk. Oh, I already did. All right, Volker and the Admiral. Uh,
Volcor. Volcor is great.
it is Volker I love. I just don't really end up getting out that much. Like much more situational than I would think for me
Yeah,
personally.
but I think that's fair for a guy who is could be super powerful.
Yeah, like for it's honestly like surprising that not it's not more busted.
Yeah. You know the Admiral, I mean the Admiral's art is like top tier, I will say. He's just got a gun and he's just shooting people.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm like trying to like get in Colby's head here. The Admiral I felt like it feels like the Admiral fills a role that doesn't need to be filled in the cloaks. Like, like what? Like extra? I mean, like sure, extra attacks is cool, and I guess it's a cool thing for blocks to copy and Swift.
Yeah.
Like hypothetically is cool, but like, I mean, I don't know. You had to have another champ. Like, what else were you gonna do? But like,
I
cloaks have
cool
so
because
much already. Sorry.
you have to think in the cloaks, like anything can be copied by Vlox. So
Yeah.
if Vlox copies him, you can have 5 attacks on your turn, which is just awesome, right? And like, yeah, it takes a lot of effort to get there because not only do you need the 6 cost, but you also need stuff on the board for that extra attack to mean something. But like, if you ever do, it feels great, right? Like, and you're just totally rewarded for it. Plus, he's just strong, powerful wise, as is movement wise too.
Uh, yeah, sure. Whatever you want, King. Can we do Volcor?
We can do Volcor because he's got a flaming axe, 2 flaming
He's got
axes.
2 flaming axes. You wouldn't fucking know though. What Plaid Hat doesn't want you to see.
That's right, censored. It's actually a middle finger over there, and they don't want you to see it.
Okay. Wait, shit. I gotta get the. What's that symbol called?
We all know what that symbol's called, so I'm not even gonna say it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. My like my gut is to say the umlaut, but I don't think that's what that is.
No, that's the 2 dots
That's yeah. It's the 2 dots over the U or over anything.
over anything.
I don't know. Yeah.
Moving
Yeah.
on.
Sideways Theta, Devura and Quen. That should
Um,
not be difficult.
let's just pour one out for Quen, who's about to die right now. Quen, you have awesome art, and you're very fragile, so people don't play you very much, but I like you. And you have lightning, it's blue, it's cool. It's a cool, different art color as well.
Quen, if you take some time and like work on yourself, and by work on yourself, I mean get 1 more HP, I will let you back
Yeah.
into my life.
Quinn, you just gotta like eat a little bit more. Like, are you hitting the weight room? Like,
What is going like all these other like yeah, everyone else is buff as fuck and you just like got some blue hands or something. What's going on?
yeah, let me see these hands. All
Uh,
right, Devera, move on.
yeah. I mean cool in yeah, cool in theory and like can really like get you some like cool kills of like you snipe a unit behind a gate, that's fun. Anyway.
I also like the implication that she can like hit things that are next to other things with lightning, but you can't hit summoners with that ability. So it's like, are summoners made of rubber? It's just it's in my brain every time.
Yeah.
Like summoners are just immune to this. Why?
Because balance.
I
Anyway,
understand why. It's just it doesn't make sense to me.
Eldorath. Who the hell is Eldorath?
We
Is
know
that
who.
another? That's another Grox.
Yeah, it's a Grok boy.
Who was the other champion?
He's that guy.
The
He's
other one was Targan. Ah,
boy.
my boy. Yes,
Your boy. Your boy is a girl.
my like boy is used in the all-inclusive sense. I feel like Targan represents everything I love like to do in this game. That is turtle and shoot at you and have long hair and antlers coming out of my head. Like it's great.
Yeah, yeah, I
Loves
agree
my
with that.
frost shamans. Great.
It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do like Targan quite a lot. Having Farshot is just super strong. Having antlers on your head, even stronger. Eldorath, I'm sorry, you're more of a passive dude.
Eldorath, like, he's a comfy guy, but
Eldorath reminds me of people in my life who I've also like described as Eeyores. He just looks like
mm-hmm.
Eeyore.
uh
Anyway,
yeah, gonna pass on Eldorath.
Eldorath is constantly surrounded by others dying. And maybe that's why he's grumpy.
Damn. All right, man. Like Tortugatron is so good at making spreadsheets. Like, what's up? What's up with this? Thune and Veldamax the Great. Do you know is every champion on this sheet?
I guess so, yeah. Oh, you even have the mercenaries. I didn't realize that.
Thune and I've never played Veldamax the Great since it's like it's too late for my time. Hopefully one of these days. I don't see you don't do deck building. Oh, I can just click on any of these. No, I need to
No,
click on deck building. God damn it.
not really in the deck building scene.
I'm waiting for
Mostly,
the deck. I
it would
don't.
be fun to do it, but I just, at this point, I'm like, I don't want to go in there because people are gonna like meta me out of it, basically.
Uh, and that is fair. I think the best way to do deck building is against a friend in private games, so you can like match your power level. Because yeah,
Ex-
it's like what be doing a C tier deck against an S tier deck is just like what are you doing? Not fun for
Exactly.
anybody.
Anyway, Feldamax, we're all familiar with him. He's kind of cool, actually. I like his ability. What is he studying there?
Yeah, I literally have never played him, so I can't speak to that.
After this unit attacks, if one or more squiggles were rolled, gain one magic. The end of your attack phase, if this unit did not attack, discard this unit.
Jack6 says Thune is nearly unplayable though. Yeah, I mean then Thune is boring and doesn't see play. I mean, like I think Thune kind of fills a role for the deck of like you have because what I was gonna say like Thunder Elves. I don't know what Fungal
You've had,
Dwarves. A lot of times you got to burn kind of hot to get the engine going, and so having like sexy pot of 6 magic waiting for you at the end to play can sometimes be nice, but
yeah, I've played him a lot, and he's very powerful. But
can't demand him though. Learned that recently against Aaron.
yeah, but you can also he's like a warrior, but also gets boosts from just being in the diamond, which is nice. So
Yeah, it gets it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Mercs. I really like what they're doing with Mercs. I think all Mercs are kind of what I want champs to be, and that like their idea is like and kind of rightfully so, like let's be careful and not design a Merc that's just like gonna be good in every circumstance, otherwise it'll be an auto include. But let's make it a thing that maybe could be powerful if you built the right deck for it. And I think that is like I think that is what Mercs should be. And I think Veldemax fills that role perfectly. I haven't tried to build a deck with him, unlike the other ones, so I don't know if that's like exists in the current design space. I'm sure it will eventually. I love it.
I can see it being good
I
with
go
cave
Veldemax.
goblins. Cave goblins, you could do some stuff with them, and it gets you magic too. So you don't need to do it with cave goblins. But yeah, I think Velmax is good.
Good stuff. Man, is the art higher quality if I do it in the deck builder? I don't know. Because Veldemax is such high quality art and it's so
Might just
blurred.
be because it's newer, maybe.
I think it's because of my hypothesis is that the phone update, now when you click on a card, it's lower quality because like you want like your phone to like you don't want the app to take up as much space. I hope Joe fixes this at some point because this art should higher quality art exists. This should not look so low quality when I zoom in on it. Anyway, we're going Veldy.
Anyway, we're going Veldy.
Hell yeah. Guldas and Blub. God, which one's Blub? Wait, let me think. That's the that's the
Blub
Merc.
is the no, Blub is the real one in
Seriously.
Swamp.
Cannot keep track. What was the other one? Guldas?
I think so.
Let's just check there. Yep. Guldas, great idea. Try harder next time, Golby.
Goldass, great idea. Really cool art.
Right?
Blub, strong. He's got cool art too, although it's kind of weird proportionally, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, fills a very important role on the deck. I'm mixed on the Swamp Orcs champs because you feel like you're given this pitch of okay, it's a deck where you're like really focused around champions, and then all your champions just do like generally good things and aren't like crucial to the deck at all. Um, but like maybe that's a good thing that it's just kind of simple. Like yeah, you play champs and your champs are good. Blub's really strong, and I think it's a fun design. Keep your opponents on the edge when you're at 5 magic. It does get a little bit old that you feel like you just see 3 blubs every game, but whatever.
Yeah, Blub ends up being the one that's played all the time, which is annoying. Like, I wish they had done something. Well, I'll save it for when we talk about one of the other guys.
Okay. Yeah, Guldas, I wish I really like Gul. Like honestly, I'd be willing to vote for Guldas, just like in theory, what Guldas should be. My
Goldass
monster.
can be very powerful in certain situations.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've played Guldas like once in the last year, and it was against Waterdeep in one of like the earliest videos on my channel. Go find it. It was Swamp Orcs against Fallen Kingdom.
Nice.
Yeah,
And you beat Blub with them.
probably. Wait, did I lose that one? I don't remember. This was a close game.
All right. I say, uh, I say Blub, but if you want to go Goldass, that's fine with me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, who are we kidding? No one plays Guldas, so fine. But what a good looking boy.
He's just a happy little boy. He's a good boy.
What a good looking boy. All right. And it continues. Samara versus Monstro. Oh snap. This might be kind of hard.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Not Samara. That's also not Samara. Try again.
We've got the Monstro. Monstro fulfills all of my Pokemon related wants and needs. He's the final evolution. Honestly, playing Monstro, like even if I lose the game, I'm fine with it. I'm like, I got to play Monstro.
You're having fun. Yeah, it's uh very fun design and like somehow I think it ended up like kind of balanced. The Fungal Dwarves are a weird deck in that they could probably take like 3 playtesting cycles and still not be finished. Because it's just like so hard to actually assess what their balance is. And Monster is kind of an autoplay, like, but also like people will still debate you that have hundreds of Fungal Dwarfs games as to whether that's true or not. So, what do I know? I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
fan.
think uh, people do say he's an autoplay. That's coming from people who are better at Fungal Dwarves than I am. I can't play him every time, but if you can play him every time, obviously he's very strong. But that still doesn't mean you're going to win every time, also.
Yeah,
Which I think
yeah, I think that's the hot take about balance is even though he's an autoplay, you still can beat them. You can still beat him.
Samara we've talked about already, but still very cool. And I think both of these are just like cool. If you're talking game design, like you've been talking about, like they show you what this game is capable of in different things. And I think they're both like something that champs are not like. Not every champ is like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I could go either way. I think probably I like Samara more, but I play Monstro more, so
I think I like what they both like intellectually. I like them both, so I'm going with my heart, and my heart says Monstro.
that's fair. We probably play Monstro a million times more than Samara, so
You good with it?
I'm good with it.
All right. Wow, we've been so like nice and like not arguing. This is crazy. What is this?
Not happening. It's not coming up. Whenever you come after me. Uh-oh. Is Jack6 still in the chat? Because we got Brub.
Barab versus Titan. All right, Jexic, hit us with your hot takes. Gotta go to the deck builder for this one every time.
Brub, I will say, when I was playing one of the sagas, Brub killed me immediately. Like, it just got
Ooh,
me like 12 in a row with no
sounds
extra
like a
boost.
skill issue.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Um, Barab is great. A lot.
Alex is in here too and says, if you don't vote for Titan, I will concede on the spot.
Oh shit. Titan's like fun, good game design. Jack Six says I think my position is well known. I think Brub is a ton of fun. I like Brub again, perfect example of a mercenary. Um, like just kind of weird and like but like you could try to build a deck around it. Just so happens that someone has built a deck around it that ends up being very powerful, and that person is in chat.
Wait,
Brub
who?
is allies. It's ally. No, it's Jaxic. Jaxic, the Brub man, and I think it's a lot of fun. I know people get like salty about like either he does no damage or he does 14 damage, but like like if you're playing a game, it's fun.
He's hilarious, but he does lead to negative playing experience for sure.
I think it's the sort of thing like again with deck building where it's like I feel like deck building just shines the most in like you're having fun with a friend. And like similar to like if I'm playing with a friend that I know is not gonna enjoy going up against fungal dwarves, I don't bring fungal dwarves. If I'm playing with a friend that isn't gonna enjoy brub nonsense, I won't bring brub. I love brub nonsense. I love dying to brub. That's so fun. It's so silly. So I'm a big fan. But yeah, no, that's totally valid take.
It is very silly, and I agree with you on that entirely. Just like he's a certain flavor, and if you have a salty type of flavor, he's probably not your jam, which I wouldn't know anything about.
Not at all. Someone drop it.
Titan, meanwhile, let's talk about Titan because I do like Titan a lot.
All right.
He like opens up literally like the board for you. He leads to a lot of the like because it would be very easy to have the forge just be put things down, place them, and that's it basically. But like the fact that it is difficult for them to move, and that's like
Yeah,
a specific weakness of the deck, but then he
is beautiful. Great design.
alleviates that and makes it so that there is that surprise factor. It does make it really good.
Yeah, I mean, how many tools are there to move structures in the deck? There's modular and Titan, and Helmar can take things away. And that's it. If you put
Mhm.
a sentry cog in front of yourself, you either gotta attack it, get a Titan, modular, or Helmar. And those are all like pretty niche tools. So I think that's just like a brilliant part of their design that like you can really screw yourself. But you have interesting tools to move structures around too. But it's not just easy.
Here's a gripe I have for the Titan. The art goes way too hard for the ability. I feel like it should have been like a guy, like a robot that's like carrying something heavy or something like that, or like a little helper robot. But
what
instead, he's like a
what is he holding?
beast.
What is he
He's
holding?
holding a wrench.
I mean that makes sense. You're like wrenching things.
Kind of. I
Ally
feel like
says
if
my
he's
idea
holding,
is that he's so big he picks up entire buildings and puts them back down.
I think they like literally changed the idea of what the card was gonna be, but the art was already made.
Like that is entirely possible. And I never really know what playtesters are allowed to tell us and what they're not, but we do have two playtesters in chat who have definitely were there for the Titan. Um,
Anyway, I that's my gripe with him, but I do really like him, like playing him. Even if you don't put coolant on him, you can easily protect him and do some shenanigans and stuff.
yeah, I think they're both great. I think it's a tough decision. Different reasons again. My heart's with Brub, but I'm willing to take what you like.
I'm going with the one who is the icon of who has inspired more discussions and gripings in the Discord than the other by a mile. Let's go with Brub.
Let's do it.
Brub, Brub,
Allies,
Brub.
concede on the spot.
Concede, Alice. This is not real at this point.
Alice just dropped out. This is not real at this point. Been saving up for that.
Oh man, can I not hear that on the chat?
No, I mean, you'd have to turn on the volume and then you'd be hearing yourself. There's no way I can get that to work for you. I'll, I'll,
Wow.
I'll, I'll tell you every time we got one. I'm so sorry. All right. Helma and Dagger.
Ooh. Ooh. I see we
Uh
have a Tortugatron in the chat. Sounding salty.
oh. What's the salt?
He said we're not using the prettiest version of the spreadsheet.
What's the prettiest version of the spreadsheet?
Ben, this was all your fault.
What did I do wrong? What do I need to fix, Tortugatron? I want the prettiest. I want the best. I want the good. Uh,
It's pretty pretty.
how is this not pretty? Helma versus Dagger. Man, am I becoming a Cloaks fan? Because like I keep doing this thing where so the Cloaks are busted and there's way too many options they have, but like they're busted in a way that requires like a shit ton of skill to like pilot, and I do not have that skill, and so I have a ton of respect for it. Um,
Yeah,
so
that's how I feel with them too.
if you
I,
click the link again, you'll see. So you change the link later. You're backstabbing me. Do we want to like
Et
restart with
tu,
this new link?
Torte?
Sorry.
Et tu, Torte?
All right. Beans,
No,
fill the space. Fill the space.
we don't need to get the prettiest one. It's still
Let's
pretty pretty.
let's at least see it. Let's see what they're talking about. Tell me about Helma and Dagger. What are you thinking?
Dagger is very strong and like maybe too strong, but that's fine. And leads to a lot of Locke's shenanigans, specifically with the dagger and with breasthead bandits. Helma is cool and like cool in an interesting way of like this is what this is an econ play of getting your own things and putting them on the bottom of your deck. And it wouldn't really be an econ play in other decks because like you would want to be using those things. But in Forged it is pretty good because putting things down that can't move is such a like weakness of the deck, but then you can put them down again and use his ability again, Forged in Flames again. So I think, yeah, I think Helmaw is like almost more interesting, whereas Dagger is like unquestionably more powerful.
That's interesting. I mean, I feel like Dagger is like a few a few in between. What am I trying? Like, I cannot words. Like, there's very few champs that are like autoplay super powerful champs that I'm also like okay with, and Dagger somehow is there. Like I mean, I guess is it really that interesting if it's just like Out of Shadows puts units behind units? Dagger is good, and I don't know the whole like Vox having Sly thing like legitimately kind of breaks my brain,
Yeah,
in
but
like a
I think the
very
interesting
upsetting
part of
way.
that is doing that with things that aren't Dagger, then sliding in or stealing the ability, so then you can do the same attack with Phlox and him and zero cost. But yeah, like everything relies on Out of Shadows.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to go Helma with you if that's our pick.
I like Helmaw here.
I
I
I
do
was
want to
definitely gonna say Dagger, but you've kind of swayed me. You've kind of swayed me.
I do want to give a shout out to, and I don't remember this person's name, but when I first got into Summoner Wars, I remember reading the thing this person like did a tier list or a ranking of like all of the master set champs and commons of like how how hot they were or how
Yes, that
attractive they
is.
were.
Wait, crap. What was her name?
Anyway, Dagger was like way up there for her.
Yes,
So shout
yes.
out to them. Also, Sin Sin I think was way up there for
Is
her.
Jexix still here? Jexix will remember. It's like on the tip of my tongue. You gotta go. You gotta go check that out. It's in the Discord. Message me in Discord. I'll send it to you. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a great read. All right,
It'll come
Helma,
for you.
I
So,
don't think would have made the list on that one.
I mean, a certain kind of person.
All right, Helma. Helma's got some
Helma
cool art.
wins. Do you want to? Okay, here's our new spreadsheet. It wouldn't take too long just to copy everything. A hero is born. Cool. Link to be added. Awesome. And then we have faction symbols as well. You think that's worth it?
No, it's basically the same thing. It's just got the faction symbols.
It'd be so. Oh my goodness, this did not work at all. I've
Failure.
the faction symbols don't even copy over. Okay, they do. I mean, I could probably do it in like a minute if you wanna.
All right, that's fine. We'll show off Tortugatron's hard work.
We'll show off everything. Yeah. So this is the thing. Tortue. Every week we'll be voting. It'll be great. We did Uncle Sparks. We did Admiral over Volcor. Did we really? What did we do
No,
there? We did Volcor.
no, we did full core.
Um, we did Devura. We did Devura. We did
I thought we
Targan.
did,
Sorry,
I thought we did Quinn.
did we actually? Oh my
No,
god! You can't do this to me. I'm struggling already. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Blub. Samara. Monstro. We did Brub
yeah.
and Helma.
All
All right.
right.
Talia and Nadiana. See, these two belong paired together. They're
Oh my god.
both don't get played. Though apparently, like I was hearing on the Discard for Magic podcast that Nadiana is like at good or like good actually. I don't know what's up with that.
I think Nadiana is decent and to pretty good, and Talia is just pretty rough.
They tried. Like I definitely see how like the whole like damaging gates theme. Like I definitely see how you would think that this would be a good card.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I like Nadiana. I think Nadiana's pretty good. It's
uh,
expensive. It's not played very much, but
yeah, it's hard to compete with a champ and a card that is always discarded for zero magic. So, uh,
yeah, you could have been something cool. but it's just so hard to do.
Nadiana it is. All right, we have Olag versus Splack.
Splack. Splack is the relentless one, right?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah.
Splack's cool. I like Splack. I think he slept on.
Splack is cool. I don't know, he seems weak to me when I play him, but I think that makes sense because you could potentially emerge him 3 times.
Yeah. I agree. Um,
I would choose Oleg of these. I think he's cooler.
I think I would too. I mean, Splack is, but it's like Tireless and Relentless is a cool space because like it's a very cool ability, but like it turns out that like getting uses out of 4 moves every turn and 4 attacks isn't always so easy, and so like you kind of gotta like think to actually like use it fully. So, um, so
Yeah.
I like it, and I like his silly little. I like Orcs. I like his silly little face. I'll go Olag with you. So that's fine.
Yeah. Who has the more receding hairline? This is no.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's under that hood.
It could be anything.
All
All
right.
right. Fire
Fire
Drake and Ashia. What the hell?
Ashia. Who's that?
Literally.
Is that one of the mercs?
You don't even know. God, Ashia's great. I love
It's the
Ashia.
merc one, right? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
should have gaslit you. No, that's from Fungal Dwarves.
yeah.
There was a point where Joe had implemented this where it just didn't say only target commons and champions cannot target. Like it just said all units cannot target, which was like playable and interesting.
Yeah.
But it does in fact turn out that in Summoner Wars, most summoners can probably get in there and kill your stupid 3/3 pretty easily, making her pretty difficult to play. But she still has some interesting. I've tried to build decks around her, and what I ended up doing was a Breakers deck where you just like push her somewhere,
Yeah.
and can still be played. Like if the summoner is on one side of the board and Ashia's on the other, or you're going up against a summoner that stays back, like still playable, still interesting. Great example of a merc in my mind. Except for the fact
Great
that
example of
this should have been just all units probably.
it just looks so expensive to me. As someone who has never played it. 5 cost for it, but
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I mean, they gave it an insane ability, and were like, okay, like let's be careful here and not make this too good. So they definitely aired a little bit too much on the side of caution, but like understandably so.
I feel like they should have gone with 1 health and then like 3 cost or something like that, but I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, then it just dies to like getting shot with a swift shot or whatever. But
Well, that's true, I guess, because their thing doesn't uh it doesn't prevent that. Yeah.
she looks unplayable at 5 cost. Think about it like this, allies. Like assuming the summoner isn't in the picture, which we just kind of need to. Imagine a unit that it just permanently has a smoke bomb on it. So you're playing breakers and just the unit that like you push Ashia in front of you and your opponent just literally has nothing they can attack if like if you have a donkey stack with the top unit being Ashia. So like can definitely be powerful. So that's why there's so much going against her like stat wise and whatnot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Fire Drake is great every time you can play him. It's tough, obviously, with the 8 cost, but man, is he powerful. And the fact that he can be summoned adjacent to your summoner. I've had games where I like rush down, destroy a Phoenix Elves gate, and then I'm like, all right, I got this in the bag. And they summon him next to it. And it's like, oh, great. And now they survive until they get another gate, and it's just over. Like at that point, I've lost completely.
Yeah, great. Protector is a great space to fill the deck, especially like with them being paired with Tundra Orcs in the starter set, where like taking down your 10 health gate before you draw another gate is definitely like in the cards for Tundra Orcs. This
Hmm.
definitely happens a lot where you just pitch everything and pray for Fire Drake. And also with the recent buff to Maldaria, where you can call champions with her ability, like Fire Drake becomes pretty playable in my mind. Like definitely overcosted, but like you that's kind of negated by just how much value you can get out of him over the course of a game. Um,
And Fire Drake is the ability is very good, and like when you games where you have enough magic for Fire Drake are games against like Cave Goblins, where that ability is even stronger, right? Like that's where you want to use it even more. So I think it's a good champion. It's definitely more situational than the other champs, but like that's the point.
yeah, Fire Breath is like kind of a miss for me. I don't feel like I use it that much. Like when I want Fire Drake, I want it for the stats. I don't know, maybe Fire Breath could have been a bit cooler or something. I have fun playing Fire Drake. I feel good about myself when I play Fire Drake, and that's all that matters. Um,
And he's got a 19 pack.
Literally. Well,
I play
yeah,
Fire Drake.
yeah. I'm not really gonna die on the Ashia Hill, so I will go for it as well. Do. All right, Midi, Kairu, and Silts.
Oof. Oof.
Oofta? Really? This is an oof for you.
They're just both good.
I don't play Mana Elf. I was gonna say Midi Kairu, and then I was just like, well, actually, let's just go broader here.
I was gonna say I don't play Silts very often when I play Sand Goblins.
Interesting.
Definitely my least played of the champs.
Yeah, yeah, Chimps Silt's not a play or anything. I don't have any recent experience with discussions about when and when not to play Silts. Not me.
Wait, so I don't understand. Were you mad at chat for doing the thing that Vexer told you to do? Like, also, that you were just mad that Vexer also agreed with the consensus, which was not what you agreed with?
Yes, I thought that playing Silts was kind of throwing there because it felt like Silts would just die super easily, and I would rather discard her to like draw thrusters and stuff. And then it turns out that Vexer agreed with chat that it was you always play Silts 100% of the time in that matchup.
Lame. Lame on you.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Anyway, of these two, I to me, I think Midi Kairu is the one I like more. Silts is like crazy, obviously, right? Like, and leads you to do a lot of interesting stuff. But I think Midi Kairu like looks like and acts like what a champ should be in Savannah Elves, right? It's like it's about boosting, and you can protect him a little bit by withdrawing into your group a little more, right? Like harmony situation. He gets things from boosts and that kind of thing. Also, he has a halo for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's
He's
a
he's been
yeah,
canonized by the Catholic Church, I can only assume.
very sure. I think he's the only good example of good champ design in the Savannah Elves, for sure.
Silts, meanwhile, like is very strong, but I don't feel like he needed to be in a Sand Goblins deck. I feel like he could have been thrown in any deck, really, and like he could be in Wayfarers more than he could be in Silts, I feel like thematically. Whereas like Midi Kairu, I feel like could only makes the most sense in a boost harmony deck like Savannah Elves.
That's fair. I mean, I think Silts plays uh Silts is just another really powerful tool that the Sand Goblins have. I feel like the Sand Goblins are a great example of just like a wacky old toolbox with a ton of stuff. And I think the very good Sand Goblins players would say she's one of the best tools in there, and you're always gonna play. And like as far as comboing with Sand Goblin stuff, combos combos with carry, I guess, for like some crazy reach and stuff.
I
Um,
guess, but like it doesn't really have anything to do with structures or upgrades or anything like that.
yeah, I can't believe that I'm kind of willing to go with go with you here. I guess like without Silts, the deck would have a lot less assassination potential. So like the aggressive play styles threatening the opponent would be a lot less of an option. Would probably push the deck in more of an econ direction, which I know some people in this Discord call probably wouldn't like. Um, trying to pitch it to you.
Well, honestly, for all the aggressive Sand Goblin plays that exist, I really struggle when I play them like that, so I do play them more passively, and maybe that's why I don't play Silts as much, but I feel like for me personally, when I play champs, I'm bad at protecting them, and so that's mostly why I don't play it, because it's like, I could see a turn where I could do something cool with this, but it's probably gonna die because I'm bad at
I mean, Silts is the perfect champ for that, though. Silts, you attack and then swap with a Rust Rider. I also don't play Silts very much, but that's because I'm bad. I think I should play her more. Like you attack and then swap with a Rust Rider, or the other way around, you attack with a Scavenger and then swap with Silts to protect the Scavenger. Like there's a lot of utility for the econ too.
Yeah.
Um,
My vote would be for MIDI here, but
I'm willing to
I
go with it. This is the upset of the century. Like Silt is gonna go all the way. Like Silt is like everyone's like favorite dog
mm,
here. Yeah, I feel like game design wise, it is just like very strong, or like there's a lot of like I feel like we've gotten some champs that are like abilities that are very versatile that like end up being very strong. I feel like versatile can sometimes just like code for overpowered, or like it's just it's very difficult to like fully understand the everything this champ does in playtesting. Like, and Varn is the other example of like just like these once per turn during abilities. So yeah, I'm willing to drop some hate on Silt.
let's do it.
All
Also,
right.
shout out to me when I first started playing physical, thinking that Midi Kairu moved and boosted things, and then when he withdrawed and forced away, he also boosted things because I was like, he moved into it.
That would be pretty strong. That would be pretty strong. We have Simizo Gamba saying that they had Silt winning the whole thing in my bracket. Oof. Oofda. I mean,
Sinjo Gamba, you've had your bracket busted. I'm sorry to tell you.
your bracket has been debunked. Midi Kairu is the correct answer. Midi Kairu is kind of boring. I don't know if I agree. I don't
No,
know if I agree with
it
this.
is not.
You just like attack and then like boost things. I think the Savannah Elves. I think fundamentally, I find this. That's what I was thinking when I went through. I just clicked on each of the master set decks for like 30 seconds in preparation earlier today, and I was just like, okay, what do I like game design wise? There was fucking nothing in Savannah Elves, but except for like Chant of Entangling is cool. Like I don't know. Savannah Elves just apparently do not do it for me. Like boosts do good stuff. Boring. Boring.
Sounds like a skill issue. I'm sorry.
Sounds like a skill issue. All right, Varn and Smeg. We can probably just do Smeg and call it good. Yeah, I think so. Wow, Silt and Varn are gonna like accompany each other in week 2. That's crazy. It is how this works. No, this is gonna be week 3. I see. I see. All right,
But they're
Smeg
right
and
in.
Varn. Are you gonna like be all about Varn now that you just hated on Silts, the other crazy champ?
This is tough because I love my cave goblins. I think Smeg is I play her every single game basically. Barn, almost always play every single game too. And Mountain Vargath, these are probably my 2 favorite factions right here. Varn
Interesting.
is a big part of it, and like to me, the stuff I like is the stuff that leads you to doing interesting and zany kind of stuff, right? And so like Varn lets you do that, right? You can do a lot of stuff that is not what you would normally think
Same
is
with
there.
Silts. You hate her.
Same as same as Silts, but yeah, that's fair. Smeg is good, and it lets you think about magic in a whole different way, which I like. Similar to Blarf.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, no, Cave Goblin champs, like low cost champs that like you have to pay magic over time. Great design. Smeg just having relentless. Normally, like we kind of we hated on Makiendo Rue for Smeg. I'm totally fine with it. I think it fills a different role because it's like Relentless is a really powerful ability. That's on my list of like Horde Slingers, great design. Like just like
Yeah.
yeah, just like impeccable design. And then Smeg being like, okay, like what if this unit actually had health, but it's going to like cost you a lot more. Love it. Varn on the other hand, yeah, I agree. The utility is a ton of fun. Maybe too much. Dare I say, maybe this shouldn't be like at any point during your turn. Maybe just like three of the phases or something. I don't know. I mean,
Maybe.
I love the utility. I think that the biggest point for me against Varn is it's just too strong. Like it sort of it breaks the champion balance of the deck in that Varn is it's similar to Baldo, just so good that just outruns the other two champs that are also good. So we see less of Torridon because Varn is so good. Grata says should have been within 3 spaces.
I will
um,
say also his ability, like he's a harmony champ or spirit champ or whatever. His ability is about getting other things to him, right? So he's not powerful on his own.
That's
He's
very true.
powerful with the deck. So that's why one reason I like him
No,
because
and it
he
totally fits the Mountain Vargheth theme of repositioning and stuff. And honestly, I don't even know how I'd change Varn because I was like, oh, -1 health. But like that totally wouldn't like it's same thing with Baldo. The health is not why it's
yeah.
good. Um uh yeah, but Varn, I mean, when I get over that gripe of like I wish the other two champs saw a bit more play, like yeah,
Here's the thing
Varn's
though,
great. Varn's great.
in the situation which I've seen myself in a couple times, you probably haven't, a skill issue. But where you have Varn and Torridon on the board, you can use Varn to move Torridon, right?
Uh
To swap them
I
around
never find myself in that. How have you found yourself in that situation?
because
Couldn't be
I'm
me.
because I'm a Mountain Vargath main at this point.
I want to get good at the Vargheth. The Vargheth are like seem like a great faction to really pour a lot of time into because there's just like so much positioning nuance. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
bad. I admit it.
By the way,
Mad is bad.
we've talked about Smeg a little bit here. I'm surprised you didn't bring up your favorite thing about Smeg in the artwork. The antlers on the head. Hello.
I was like desperately looking like, what are you talking about?
You got some antlers on the head, just
That's
like
true. And the
your
feathers, there's the yeah. I mean, Martin Abel is the gift that keeps on giving. Like what? The cave
she's
goblins are
kinda
so silly. Standing on a bunch of skulls. Like what a creepy little guy. Love it.
yeah.
Honestly, hot takes, Meg art better than Varn.
I don't think that's a hot take. Although Varn's axes are doing all the heavy lifting for him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I said my piece against Varn. Varn's super cool, but and like very very high skill sort of thing. So I'm willing to take it.
Varn it up.
Let's do it. I can't believe we did Silts over. I'm getting like so much buyer's remorse after taking Silts out of the bracket. We would have been able to debate Silts versus Varn next. All right. Over in the blue. Wow, there's like we are like barely even gonna finish the champs in like 2.5 hours. Oh my goodness.
All right, we picked Albus up here.
Albus and Colleen.
Oh, geez.
That's legit tough.
I don't like Colleen,
Um,
but that's
I
mostly
don't
'cause
like you.
I'm mostly playing against Vanguards versus playing as Vanguard. And Colleen's squiggles, which, by the way, when you get roll 2 squiggles, you should not get 2 squiggles every single time. And that's what happens every single time.
Man, I gotta say, I feel like there's a certain like on-screen emote that like came out of a certain time where some squiggles were rolled. I don't really
It's, you
not
would
really
not believe
recalling. Maybe someone
it
could
was
drop it or
it was
something.
not real at this point when I was playing Vanguards just the other day, and literally it was every time with 2 squiggles, every time. 2 squiggles. This is
Like,
not
why
real
can't
at
I
this
get that with a
point.
gunner and Sandhound?
Her grata has dropped it for you. It's just out of the kindness of their heart.
This is not real at that point, okay? Honestly. I I can't vote for Colleen. I'm sorry. She gives me so many negative playing experiences.
Colleen is so yeah. Colleen is on the tip of like, oh, if Colleen was too good, like Cassia, if Colleen was too good, like yeah, it'd be terrible because Vanguard's is underpowered and Colleen's a saving grace. I love her, and Colleen also. I like the thing with Vanguard of Colleen. In order for Colleen to be good, you need to have 10 magic worth of units on the field. You need to like for Colleen to be good, you need to have Colleen and ideally at least two other Citadel units on the field. That's a like so you need to go pretty ham, pretty heavy in order to get that out as Vanguards, especially since everything else is so costly. So it really fits into that like the Vanguards, they represent Sun by just like you just like draw a bunch of cards and discard them. Go ham, have a ton of magic. It's great. Have fun. Colleen fits that great as like the reward for juicing it up and getting a ton of
Yeah.
magic. Now you can play Colleen. So I
I
like
get
it.
it in theory. I just feel like against me, it just does the randomness scale is gone and it's all like effective every single time.
Sagrada makes an interesting point. Albus has a hat. Colleen does not.
Yeah, he's got a halo too. He's also been canonized by the Catholic Church.
Um. Yeah.
Colleen's got a weird like gem shield. I don't really know what that is.
So I think my head is with Albus, my heart is with Colleen, sort of thing. Like Colleen, I have a lot of fun playing Colleen.
I'm
Albus is more interesting.
Albus is more interesting.
Let's fight about it.
All right. Do we need a tiebreaker here?
I mean, give me the tiebreaker. I'm willing to concede to you anyway. But what's the tiebreaker?
The tiebreaker is both of them have purple in their art for them themselves, or
Uh-huh.
the gems, I guess, for
Uh-huh.
Colleen.
Uh-huh.
Whichever purple you like more is the one that advances.
Damn. Okay. Well, I mean, the purple is much more royal over here, but the purple is more pronounced, is like more of a significant aspect over here. Um,
This is your decision with the purple, and I will abide it.
It's a better purple for Albus. We're going Albus. Oh, I hate it. Next would have been Colleen versus Jacob. I'm sad to see it go, but we gotta compromise.
Would
Jacob
it
and Clink.
clink clink?
Literally.
Jacob. Shout out to Jacob for having a normal human name.
Shout out for Jacob for like what?
Oh man, Jacob.
What is okay? Is Jexic? Are you here? What's the name of the person that wrote the rating the summoners based on how much I want them to top me? Like, her name is on the tip of my tongue. Jexic is here. Jexic, what's the name? I remember the joke was just like Jacob and Sarah definitely fucking. Enough said. Her name is Rosalind. Also, yeah, it was on Rosalind's blog. If you search like Rosalind blog Summoner Wars, it'll come up. It is a great it is a great Summoner Wars read. It is a must read for just general strategy tips. Got to go for it.
Yeah, understood. Back to Clink versus Jacob. Clink, great. Jacob, bad.
All right. Hellforge and Cassia.
Ooh, Hellforge.
Start
My
talking. Fill some
pizza
space.
oven boy. Oh yes, the Hellforge is just awesome,
It is.
and it's something. Again, it's like this is a champion it's like we've never seen. Just a thing that exists in the world, and you hurt it in order to get stuff out of your discard. I love them. I play them almost every time. I will say as an Obsidian Dwarfs guy.
And maybe Maybe the only point against it is like maybe Martin Abel is better at drawing characters than furniture or whatever. It's a little bit like it's a little bit silly.
It is a little silly. But we love it for it.
um uh
Also, shout out for a champ just being a piece of furniture.
it's a pizza oven. Jexic says Hellforge is more fun design, Cassia is more powerful. I love that we call it the pizza oven. Yeah, it's hard to like there's so much love for the pizza oven out there. Cassia is more powerful in a way that's like maybe even borderline broken if you're Prophet. Um Cassia is very satisfying when you get it to work. Cassia is fun too. I don't know. It's a pretty easy Hellforge for me. I just love it too much.
Yeah. Shout out to Hellforge.
All right, all right. Moving on.
Antlers on his head.
Does it really? Does that count? Horns?
He
I
has
don't think horns
horns.
are antlers.
No, but
Anyway,
there's like little mini antlers in the back.
that is. I don't know what those are. We're gonna move on. Kalal and Gusto.
Galal and Gusto.
Beans like who's Kalal? I don't remember.
I know who Kalal is. I just don't play her ever.
He's good.
She's fine. Just 7 costs in a deck where I never get enough magic because I never kill anything. I never play her. And the one time I did, I didn't realize she couldn't be forced, and so she died immediately.
R.I.P. I think it was Kaloon that said someone said like if people talk about like buffing Kalal by removing Steadfast. Yeah, no, she would not fucking die if you didn't remove Steadfast. I think Kalal is like one of those champs like in the master set where like, wow, so bad, this sucks, but like the more you play, it's like, oh my goodness, like you can just have Kalal out the entire game hitting for 4 dice, and that's really good. Like she can just stay alive forever.
Yeah,
I think she's actually pretty decent, even at 7.
if you can ever get that much magic, which I can never do with
Yeah,
breakers because
I don't do that either, but I think that's a skill issue.
I would be fine getting her through though, because Gusto to me is just he's just fine. He's okay. I like his ability,
Look at
but
those glasses though.
he's a handsome man. I will say that.
Yeah, man. So like a lot of this, I feel like we could do like a whole other thing just on art. Like the art is so
Yeah.
beautiful. Like looking at Cassia, like Cassia is just like looks so elegant. And all this like blue little magic, this wind. Like I love the colors. I love the purple and like the blue
Yeah.
and the yellow and the
Gusto's
red.
like pose is perfect also too.
Martin is just oh my goodness. I love Martin so much.
Yeah. Shout out to Martin.
Shout out to Martin.
And
Go buy his book.
shout out to the pizza oven. All right.
Literally.
I would go
Literally.
Gusto, but I don't feel very
Fuck
strongly.
off. No, Kalal.
All right.
Kalal, because fuck you.
I will say the art on Kalal is like going way harder than the art on Gusto. So
uh she has places to be.
yeah.
All right.
Places.
God, which one did we do? We did Shonk over Cyruk?
We did Shonk.
All right. I mean, I wonder if Shonk's going all the way here. Shonk versus Blarf.
Oh, couple of primal boys.
There's no way you're choosing like anything over Shonk. I'm calling you right now. There's no way you choose Blarf over Shonk. Is there? Is there any way? Shonk. Do we need a Shonk emote? Just like Shonk. They got to be so annoying.
Boy. Yeah, you need to like the same way they've got like the bonk go to like horny jail. You need the like Shonk. Shonk go to Summoner Wars jail. Blarf is great though. I wish he wasn't matched up
God,
against
canonically, Shonk does say Shonk in the Vanguard saga.
Yeah.
Shonk comes out and just says Shonk 3 times.
True, very true.
Is a Pokemon in canon. Sorry, what were you saying about Blarf?
Blarf, he's got stretch marks. He's the only champ that's got that. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's got bumps on his shoulders.
Sorry.
Not the only
Wait, I'm
summoner.
sorry. What?
No,
I don't mean to like not know what I'm talking about. What, the stretch marks, the red things on his belly?
yeah, maybe those are some
Those
scars.
look like scars. But
Whatever.
I mean, like either way, hot looking dude.
Yeah. I don't think Rosalind agreed with us on that, but I Blarf is great and he's very powerful, but Shonk is the move.
Hargrada says those are blood runes.
Okay.
Is that the cave goblin symbol like ingrained on Blarf?
No, if it were the Cave Callan symbol, we would know it because it's such an iconic symbol.
What did you say? But yeah, but Blarf, great design with like champions increasing in cost, like adds a ton of threat to the cave goblins with like a double um well whatever it's called. Blah 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 what's the event?
Slumming in, Rage the Horde.
Yeah, Enrage the Horde. Can do a ton of single target damage with Enrage the Horde and Blarf. Fun champ. Chonk still wins for me though.
Fun champ. Yeah. Shonk it up.
Okie dokie.
Shonk. Shonk. Shonk.
Anessa and Gildoon. That's tough.
Ooh. Couple of early champs. Vanessa, strong, often forgotten ability in playing in physical.
Vanessa's strong as fuck.
Yeah, with a little saber, which I like. And Goldoon is good.
She has a
He is,
dagger in her other hand. I just like can't focus. I never noticed that.
that's how she gets you when you attack her.
Oh. Oh.
Goldoon looks awesome, I will say too. The art goes really hard.
It really fucking does.
Shout out to Goldoon for being the only breakers thing that is melee. Like my heart goes to him every time I play breakers, which is not very often. I'm like, please give me these dice. Please.
Gildoon definitely like fills the role in the breakers that makes like the Polar Dwarfs matchup winnable. Like gives you some burst damage on structures and whatnot.
Yeah. But you can't expose him too much because
Yeah, like great
you don't
design too. That like I think Water D said on the podcast that like Gildoon, so many Breakers games are lost by playing Gildoon because if you play Gildoon and he dies, you've just lost the game. But it fits the deck so perfectly because Gildoon uses telepathic command and then like a wind mage attacks and then can push Gildoon to safety. Like it's fits in the deck very great.
I like Goldoon. I think he's the most interesting of the champs for the breakers, for sure. And the one that like
That's fair.
feels the most powerful when you can get him off in that way. Vanessa just seems like generally strong.
Vanessa is genuinely. I feel super awesome every time I play Vanessa. Vanessa's just like what more could you ask for 5 magic? Like she's gonna get so much value.
Yeah.
Big fan. I like. I think my heart goes out to Vanessa. Maybe the art, if anything. Like I'm like.
The art goes hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a soft spot for her. But Gildoon as well is like, yeah, like that grimace. My goodness.
Mhm.
Those slanted
Goldoon.
eyes. What is going on? I'm not gonna worry about that.
Yeah. He's got the big old sword too. Vanessa's got the little saber.
Yeah,
Looking
probably game design wise, Gildoon's better, but my vote is still for Vanessa.
I'm okay with that. They're pretty equal in my mind.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Eater and Oleas. Racist. Okay, I only meant that like the eye is like at like a 45-degree angle. You know what? We're moving on. Eater and Oleas.
let the chat know I didn't say anything about that. Moving on to the eater.
Erase the clips.
He is a badger mole or whatever, something like that. No, badger mole, that's an Avatar Last Airbender thing. He's a mole troll, badger troll in the canon. You
Yeah,
played the
first edition eater is just like a mole rat.
mole ogre, Jexic says. I think that's right. He's great, but like he's just too easily played around, which is tough.
Yeah, he just needs like 3 more health or something. Fills an important role for the deck, or at least would if he was playable. That is like something with actual health that can have some board presence.
Yeah, I just wish he didn't have such a harsh penalty. Like what they did with Sekhmet would have been perfect on him, but him dying immediately if you don't do a thing is just so rough.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, like I think when I did the thing with Cell, I was saying like 3 or 4 health. I honestly feel like 4 or 5. Like I feel like a 5-14 eater would be balanced. Maybe
The
I'm
problem to
crazy.
me isn't the health, which I mean it's a little bit of a problem, but to me the issue is that he's just so easily played around. It's like you just stay away from him and then he has to eat his own things. It's like or your breakers and you mind control him and then he dies. That's just how it works.
Yeah, no, breakers hard counters the eater in every possible way, but I mean that's allowed. There's allowed to be hard counters to champs and whatnot in certain factions. Yeah,
Moving on.
you're saying the ability is just too rough on him.
Yeah, I just think like what if it was like he took damage or what if it was he like could eat gates or something too. Like I don't know. Like you want him attacking gates.
Yeah, no, there's more you could have done with like something that eats things thematically.
Moving over to Holias. Holias is cool, and I like the fiery summoningness of it. Feels a lot like a fire deck, which I like.
Yeah.
And it
The
has
white
your favorite
hair, white dress, like
mm-hmm.
chef's kiss.
Holding a book, which I'm just noticing for the first
The
time.
white glove. The book is on fire. Yeah, I'm also just noticing that. And that's this is like Jafar's staff too. Like
Yeah.
a lot going for this.
With tiny little feet sticking out underneath. Tiny legs, tiny feet. The Martin
Fucking
Abel
weirdo.
classic.
Yeah. Not holding that book. Who holds their books when they can levitate in the air on fire? Am I right?
That's the fiery summon right there. It's coming out of the book. Shout out to Holias. I'm gonna keep it in my bracket. I'm voting Holias here.
You're voting Holias. I feel like I'd honestly vote Eater. Like I enjoy. I think I need to play Holias more, and like is an interesting role of the deck of like your opponent's just sitting back. All right, what if all my units had +1 attack? Wouldn't that be pretty good for like so? Yeah, like it fits a very good role in the deck. I really, yeah, I guess like if the Eater like actually did something.
It's interesting that it seems like
Firework,
you
yeah.
play Finessa a lot more and I play Holias a lot more.
I think that is something I should get better at. I don't feel like I play like a lot of times I play pretty aggressively with Phoenix Elves, so I'll just like be in a position where I just kind of I need the shock treatment. I just need a bucket of stats to like buy me some time. I'm not like sitting there like being crafty with Holios, even though I probably should be.
I like Holias for being crafty, and it's not only the plus attack, but it's like pretty easy to protect because of Maldaria's ability.
Yeah.
Plus, you can summon things farther ahead or just outside of gates, things like that. Yeah.
Jexic says she's dropping the book.
Caught in the act.
Yeah, I'll go Holios. I'm down.
Cool.
That does mean we have to vote between Finessa and Holios next round in 3 hours when we get to it.
You are reading the bracket wrong. That does not mean that.
Fuck. Well, I mean, if Finessa beats Shock, oh, but Finessa's not going to beat Shock. Yeah, she might. I like Finessa. Gwalark and Glurp. Who the hell is Glurp? No one cares.
Glurp is the guy who I had a gripe with I was gonna bring up earlier. I just feel like they should have been a Glurp version instead of getting Vine Gates back. It should be something that like if he kills stuff, he boosts commons within a certain range or
What? That's so
something like
fucking
that.
boring. You fucking MIDI Kairu like lover. Like that's you get Vine Gates back. It's awesome. It's super unique. I love it.
It's interesting in theory, but it doesn't ever seem to be that good in practice.
I
And so
love it.
there's only
Aggro
two of them.
Swamp Orcs with Glurp. I
There's
know
only
it's not
two of them.
good. Sorry.
There's only two of them, so that when you have both on the board, your opponent's just like, bet you don't have an ability now.
Well, yeah. So you put them in a place where it's like so there's strategy there. You put the gate in a place where it's like it's bad for your opponent, so it's a lose lose. Either they kill the gate and now you can germinate again, or they don't kill the gate and you have a gate in a favorable position.
It's pretty
Gameplay.
hard to do though.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely accept the take that like the meta is saying Glurp's not very good. I still love Glurp, my favorite of the Swamp Orcs champs. I have a lot of fun. I like I love recursion abilities. I love infect. Very very satisfying to me.
Gualak, by the way, is cool, but he kind of
Antlers.
oh my goodness, antlers. How many antlers do we have now?
Look
That's
at
at
that
least four.
art too. Like brilliant art. Brilliant art.
The art goes way harder than the actual ability.
Fucking love Glurp. I hate you.
The art looks like it could be straight out of True Detective.
I love it. Well,
Mean
like, yeah, go ahead.
Gualak, he's fine. It's just like it doesn't seem like it fits breakers really at all.
I agree. I think that's my hot. I think like what Water convinced me of like this like just doesn't really have a room in the in the deck. I'm willing to like maybe it does like especially maybe at like 5 magic you just like kind of use Growlithe as like a tank to like block your mind witches and then like you get a bit of utility out of the extra movement. I don't know. I do not have a soft spot for Growlithe. I mean, cool beard, I guess.
Well, if he was giving people flight and then also giving them melee dice, then it would be effective. But the fact that he's giving all these shrimpy little ranged units flight is not really helpful.
Yeah, it makes people want to be like play like an aggressive assassination to Kulu, and that like just doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way, I
Okay,
will say.
point in Growlithe's favor is that these rocks look like the gourd seeds from Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. So
Totally. I understand what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. All right. I vote
Regardless
Glurp.
of comb over, is there a comb over?
This is your territory.
On Gualark, zoom in on him.
Oh snap.
No, he's just a bold boy.
Glurp.
Let's glurp it up.
We glurping now. All right.
Purple glurp.
Baldo and Maldar.
Boo. Boo, Maldar.
Um,
Baldo. These are both very strong. Baldo's stronger. Maldar is strong in a passive way, and I just don't like it.
the fuck is we don't need a picture of Baldo. We don't know what Baldo looks like. I think Maldar like actually I don't know. I mean, I know some very good Fungal Dwarfs players who like Maldar is like must play, but like I feel like the deck gets boosts so well that a champion that also gets like it's a hot take, but since the deck you just already have so many boosts, for a champion to also give you extra boosts is actually pretty niche. Like you need to be pretty strategic about like you need those 2 boosts because they're going to help you stretch to get a carrier and blah blah blah. So I think actually in deck building it's just busted. In the deck I feel like it's pretty niche and interesting and
It's the
like
training wheels for the deck, right? Like
yeah.
it's what helps people who don't know how to do the formation stuff yet get boosts. Versus
Yeah.
Baldo. Baldo is like the final form, final level for Wayfarers.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fight for Meldar here. I don't care.
Baldo.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Meldar,
By
that
the
is.
way, if you zoom in on Maldar, zoom in on the face.
Oh god, that's graphic. What is I instantly regretted that. All right.
Could we describe what's coming out of his face as antlers?
Moving on. Moving
That's
on.
5 at least.
Torden and Black Saber.
Oh, come on now.
That is like the people love their 8 magic champs. No
The
love
people
for Black Saber
Torden.
here. Black Saber,
Antlers.
very cool,
Antlers.
very cool merc.
I guess those are horns.
Yeah, those are not antlers. You fuck.
Black Saber is a cool concept, I will say.
The mercs go hard. I'm telling you, mercs have like cool abilities, good design. Like mercs go hard. You should do some deck do some deck building with a friend. Do some like don't jump into the public queue. Like try it out. It's fun. I promise.
I've done a couple with a friend. It's been fun. Look at the little monkey.
Yeah, little monkey saber and it's
Torden,
black. Like agreed.
Torden is just so good. So good.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. Look at the face of that little boy. Both little boys. The
Okay, wait,
rider
is this have we just found an emote?
that should be a good boy emote.
Oh, I need to write this down. Oh my goodness, that is so
You
funny.
should zoom out a little bit though. That's too close.
But like I love like the awkward zoom crops. Oh my goodness. All
Torden
right.
is a good boy, and he's good at his thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think he's underpowered?
No. I think he's very strong. And 12 health is able to keep alive for a lot, especially with all their tricks, martial forces, stronghold, barn, things like that. And he has 4 strength basically most of the time. He can go anywhere on the board basically. Have you ever used Torridon with ramming advance?
Like
It's like
once,
a
like the
glorious,
first time I played them.
glorious feeling. You can move him 5 spaces over anything.
The problem is like everyone just says just play Varn because Varn's good. So I literally haven't played Torridon since like the first week because like the first week is like, oh my god, Torridon, I got to discard to play Torridon, and then like ever since then it's just been Varn, which I think has really made me sad.
So it sounds like you're not playing like a goat, you're playing like a sheep at that point. Yeah, you heard me. You're listening to the masses and just doing whatever they say.
Vexer, not me.
Torridon wins. I'm calling it now.
Right. Not gonna fight for it. Black Saber's cool though. Let it be known.
Black Saber is cool.
Vesnabrana versus Malyanar. Vesnabrana, one of the like. I feel like for the Crimson Order haters, Vesnabrana is still kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a win in the deck because it doesn't play into their most annoying things.
Can I, like, everyone's so mad. Oh my god, I can't talk. Everyone's so mad about these cultists. I don't think they're that bad. Like, are these really that broken? Let's just pause for a second. Are you just like salty about cultists all day, every day? Is that your life?
What I'm not salty about is I'm not salty about the devout cultist ability. I think it's fine. And I'm not salty about the doom cultist ability. I think that's fine. What the deck does is it lets you get them all back in so many different ways. There's call forth, there's Casamira, there's Convert. Then you having them in your hand lets Daymar attack for free, basically, so that all of the rules of like protecting your summoner just don't exist. And it's not in the same way that like Phoenix Elves, it's like where that is like I don't know, it seems intrinsic to the deck. Here it just seems like so easy and free and there's no thought to it whatsoever. It's too much. That's my problem.
Too much recursion.
Yeah.
Too
Also on
many
top of that,
guys.
there's the cultist's ability.
Uh yeah. I mean that's fair to like as like a game design perspective be like just too much getting your units back, not fun. Not even as a balance thing, just being like personally I don't enjoy this. I feel like Devout Cult like even when you get them all back, like your opponent still gets magic every time they kill them. Like two ranges aren't even that good, and like yeah, it's a 1/3 chance to miss. I don't know. I feel like the ability's kind of fine. A bit too much randomness, but like I feel like it's kind of like for a deck that like exists, for a deck that the whole point is that like you are gonna play a shit ton of these, like, and you're gonna go for the late game. It feels like the odds will average out. I don't know.
It's like playing Crimson Order because you have potentially unlimited magic. You have to not discard. You're playing against them, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so you're basically it feels like instead of driving like, a sports car on the highway, you're driving like a minivan through a neighborhood at all times, is how I feel. It's just like so slow. Every game turns into this slog every single time.
Yeah, that's definitely fair and probably where my biggest gripe with Crimson Order is as well.
And like you look at like your game with Vexer, right? He is playing against Crimson Order, so he's like, I'm not gonna discard, which means that he doesn't get his like things that he was trying like needed in order to counter the Crimson Order, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that happens a lot.
Yeah, sounds like a skill issue.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Festabrana, I think he's all right.
cool
He's
ability.
got a cool little derpy face also.
Honestly, kind of a shock. Kind of like a
Hmm.
what your Ember mages want to be like, of just like forcing your opponent to commit 3 attacks to kill this unit is really like it can just have a ton of board presence. Now a lot of factions have ways around that, but you know, I
If
think it's
this
cool.
if this game ever became so popular that it got bobbleheads, he would need to be number one for me.
Number one for that, I'm willing to consider it for the win. I think Malionar is a great. Malionar is like
Yeah,
what Talia wants to be. Like Edia has like
yeah.
no movement. Pretty hard for her to like. You can't get Malionar in there unless like you build a gate and then summon him from a forward gate. Like it's hard to use Malionar, and yet I feel like Malionar ends up coming out a lot and ends up getting value. Like it's just a very cool champ, very cool ability, situational for a certain playstyle. Love it. No notes. Great design.
No notes either. I really like him. I play him. He's probably my most played champion of Eternal Council.
Interesting. I mean, because you're just so aggressive.
Yeah, and also I'm bad at playing Katu. I
Skill
want to
issue.
play your game, but I don't.
I need to play more Eternal Council because like I do a lot of like I always plan to play Katu, but then the game like never actually gets there. I need to like figure out whether that's a me problem or whether I need to change how I play.
All right. Ballunar, moving on.
Yep.
Ballunar.
Kalik and Katu. Oh, there we go.
Couple of Ks.
I love Katu. Kalik's cool too. Kalik's definitely like
Yeah.
one of the. I mean, well, I was gonna say one of the coolest card. Coolest card in this deck is definitely Seer. Sorry, they're both cool.
Cool art, very cool art, I think also.
Yeah. Katu is Katu's just chilling. I like it.
I know. Hikatu is strong. Sagrada says confirmed jerk in canon. Yes,
Yep. Yep. I mean, I see it.
He's the long hair. We respect the long hairs.
We do.
I like Kalik better, these guys, but I respect Katu, and I don't want to say anything to him because he's gonna be mean to me.
Kalik is maybe more fun. Katu, I really like where it fits in the deck. I really like the deck being about uh like like rigging your deck to be in the right order, and Katu being at the end. I think good design, and like impressive that it's so early in like wave two. So I vote Katu. We need a tiebreaker.
All right, the tiebreaker is which of their sleeves would you rather have? Kalik with the leafy sleeves, Katu with the gigantic sleeves. Which
Kal-
would you rather wear out in the world?
Kalik's sleeves sound pretty like scratchy and whatnot, but a little bit more loose. Katu's sleeves seem pretty impractical. Like what the hell? Like wait, like what? How? Like I
Those
don't
are
want to
fun.
imagine having to go through your
Those are
day.
dragging on the ground.
Yeah. No, like what? He just have to hold his arms up like that all like that's like you think he's doing something? No, he's just holding his arms there because he has to with those fucking
Yeah, he,
sleeves.
he can't put them by his sides.
What do you think? Which sleeves do you prefer?
I like Katus because they're ridiculous.
All right, guess we're going with Katu. I feel like we should do Kayla because that'll make you happier for whatever we do next. I feel like you're just gonna vote against Katu for our next one.
No, I like Katu.
You like
I think he's
Katu? All
strong.
right, all right, all right. Guilford and Tess. Beans Easley,
Mm,
common Tess hater.
no, I'm not gonna play along with that bit. Tess is great, and everyone hates on Tess, but she's so good.
Dexter says she's not playable. No, that's not true. But Dexter says she's playable. Bolt is just better.
Yeah, Boldo's better, but Tess, because Boldo's better, everyone expects him. No one expects the Tess.
This was so, and like maybe the first game we ever played, you got like a kill on Rhett, or like was there a kill possible but we didn't see it? I don't remember. Where like Tess swapped with a waypoint, like Tess moved, swapped with a waypoint, and then that other unit also moved for the kill that did not predict at all.
It was something like that, but Tess was huge in that game. I think I summoned her like turn 1 and she survived the whole game, or turn 2, and survived the whole game. Just like massive. Tess is awesome and like does something that no other deck does and is capable of.
Uh,
Just like
yeah,
really powerful, specifically with waypoints too. Like so good.
yeah, great design. I agree. Okay. The problem I have with Tess is I'm like, oh, I want to like get my forward gate up there. So then I swap Tess with my forward gate, and then I have Tess sitting in the back doing jack shit for like the rest of the game. Or, like for the next 2 turns at least.
Skill issue. That's why you do it with a waypoint, or you swap her with a waypoint, then move with her.
So you don't try to get your like forward gate up with Tess. That's not the play. Or
You
your 10
just try
health
and
gate.
get a gate up with Tess, but you try and put her in a spot where she's either protected or where she is like gonna attack something and kill it.
Tortugatron says, which one is better at helping you move? They can both single-handedly move a couch.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to see how
Good.
Guilford. I feel like if Guilford moves your couch, you're not going to want to sit in that couch anymore.
Guilford's got some scrawny arms for someone who's gonna bully you.
Look
Hit
at
the
those.
gym.
Look at those claws. There.
Yeah, those claws are pretty rough.
Stay away from
Guilford,
them.
I do like Guilford, and the inherent flight is huge. Bully is nice. What's these like? What are these like prongy things it's got going on? It's got two of
Um,
them.
it's like trident, but not practical. I don't know.
He's got another one on his back.
Yeah, I don't know why there's like. It doesn't feel like you'd want those two things to be pointing inwards. I don't feel like that would help you for the whole killing thing.
That's a Biden, as these guys are saying. Joe Biden.
um,
Yeah, I don't know what they're like tuning forks.
Guilford is That's what they're for. No, you cracked it. They're tuning forks. Guildford is better in deck building. Or like Guildford is like a surprise, like because in Ava's deck you're like, well, all my cards have flight, so who cares? And I don't know, like, and still a good surprise in Ava to like bully something for the kill. But I feel like you really just don't see Guildford at all. While in deck building, like having a champ in flight with a deck that doesn't normally have flight, and then also getting bully can really help you like, win some games.
I don't know. I don't know about not seeing her at all, but
I'm bad
or
at
him.
Skyscrapians.
Yeah, exactly.
The bird pronoun.
I would vote Tess here, but
I'll go with
and
Tess.
if you
This is interesting because you can tell that this artwork is not this is old Martin Abel. This was
Mhm.
taken from another game. I've never really looked at it that closely, but no, this it definitely shows that
It
like
shows for sure. It's more 2D.
yeah,
It's
no.
from Crystal Clans.
Is that true with everything in Wayfair? Like does it all? No, like
Not everything, but a lot of it.
did Martin touch it? Because Martin touched up on Celeste.
You can tell, I think the dancer for sure was one, and I think Gusto was another.
And were the are the commons all new? No, Gusto looks great. Oh, maybe
He
Baldo a little bit.
definitely touched up some stuff.
Sorry.
Definitely touched up things, the old stuff also.
Yeah. I think Tess you can tell the most, honestly, just because like the colors are just so bland
Yeah.
like in the
Same,
pants.
although she is jacked, which I'm a fan of.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, let's go with Tess. I'm
To,
convinced. Sekhmet and Alut Ball. We are not going to bed tonight.
I think we should go to bed after this round.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
well,
Yeah, sounds good. Man, if only we had started earlier or something.
I know, it would have been so nice.
But this is gonna be like a long series because then we have like a whole commons thing. Oh my
There's
goodness.
more comments than champs? What?
Oh my goodness. There are. Wait a second. Can I just like look at this? Oh,
Only one more, but per thing,
oh,
so 20
oh
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever.
No, it's not that. Well, I was like, wait, there's 16 as opposed to three. That's so many more. Versus Unlut Ball. Um, uh, I like Sekhmet. I think it's sad that Sekhmet is the one that like doesn't get played.
Yeah, I
Most
honestly
most interesting.
not a real fan of either of these that much, so whatever. Elu Ball is cool in theory, but it's not as good.
Yeah. Could be very cool, like if just was touched up. And there's room for another ability there. I know people have had interesting
The thing
ideas.
too is like you talked about the magic, interesting relationship with magic in Fallen Kingdom, and that's very true. But like for him to exist, he has to be summoned off of something. And so you do need to summon something and then put him on it for it to work, unless you already have something out there. But generally, I don't always have something out there.
I mean, that's
So
sort of
it's like
yeah,
he is almost more expensive.
that's fair. But I feel like that is the Fallen Kingdom, like you're winning when your opponent takes a turn and isn't able to wipe all of your units, like you when you still have a midboard presence. So like you already want to have a lot of extra units as Fallen Kingdom. So it works.
That's
Yeah.
that's the carrier centric player versus me. I'm more of the warrior archer player.
That's fair. I mean, why not both? Why not both? Alette Ball, I've heard maybe it was even Donkey that said this, that there's a playstyle with Alette Ball where you like just go for gate kills. Just like just break every gate they have.
Dang. Tugatron said he died to a loot today in League. Respect.
I mean, I feel like that means that your summoner was within two spaces of an enemy unit, which is like kind of just be death to any Fallen Kingdom thing. I mean, I like it. It just it does what Fallen Kingdom does, but in a different way. I don't know. Yeah, I vote Sekhmet.
It's cool in theory, but yeah, I guess Sekhmet's the move.
I mean, cooler art for sure, but whatever.
Definitely cooler art.
All right. Jarmund and Valna.
Ooh. Jarmund, very strong. Cool art also too. Both these guys have good art. I like his ability too, and it being like taking place over the next turn too. Feels very Polar Dwarvsy, where everything is pretty slow, but it can be super powerful. Like I think he's super thematic, and I like it a lot.
Like, there's ice. Like, how is this guy like walking around with this big ass fucking ice on his shoulders? That doesn't like. But sure, like, cool.
He's become one with ice.
Yeah, Jarmund is awesome. The only the only point against him is I feel like I'm cheating a little bit when I play Jarmund. Feels really strong sometimes, but I mean, takes a lot of setup. Gotta do it right. Valna, honestly, maybe I'm biased. I don't like. Maybe if Valna was played, Guidance would be cool. Yeah, I mean, Guidance does fit the Vanguard's theme. I remember Watered, like reading a Watered post like years ago about like how Guidance seems bad, like just like bad design. It's just like kind of bland and boring. But if Valna was
And
playable, I think it'd be cool.
I have like almost completely forgotten that that's part of her ability. I
I
remember,
literally have. No, I literally have at this point.
yeah. Shout out to Valna also for not having a faction symbol on her card.
Literally. Yeah, no, I like almost have a nostalgia for that because like in like one of the first games I ever played of Summoner Wars, I played Valna and like had Guidance, and it was like, oh cool, I have extra cards at the start of my turn. That's so cool. And like that's just like has never happened again for the next 2 years of my life.
Yeah. She is strong though if you can get her out to for the extra attack. But like yeah, I mean Colleen's probably better in terms of it, which is why people play Colleen versus her. I've definitely seen her win some games.
I feel like she's not as bad as people say. Like if you have a bunch of Vanguard units and like she's protected, like you can just like like she does fill a role in the deck that if like the Vanguards just don't roll a lot of dice and she can, and that's great. She's just a little bit understated, but like
Yeah, she's
and
got 9 health too. That's a lot.
yeah, I feel like just no one ever plays her, and also Vexer says she's unplayable, and I listen to Vexer.
Don't always listen to Vexer though. His advice doesn't apply to every single situation. You have to realize this,
I
right?
have written everything he said on my walls. It's just like scribbles everywhere. Just like I study them every night before I go to bed.
Oh my god. I would
Uh
vote Jarm,
yeah, I'm with you.
but
I'm with you.
Yarmund.
Ramunda. Queso, last one. Queso versus Ovi. Do you even know what Queso does?
He cheeses. I know what he does. He spreads the plague. Come on now.
You got it. Dominus Ovi. Wow, I went to I went to Sky Spear Avians for Ovi. I get points for that.
No.
Wrong association.
Ovi. Ovi is
Ooh.
he's got a great little art looking like a Disney character.
Where the fuck is Queso? Um Yeah, the blue into the pink, like, oh, that does hit hard. Gotta say.
Yeah. I was thinking with the like hump also looks like a Disney character.
Bird wearing a like cloak, like sort of thingy. I like it.
Ovi is good and strong, but like at the right stat level for a 4 cost, which I like.
Yeah.
But Queso leads to a lot of crazy shenanigans.
Queso is hilarious. Yeah, I really like Ovi, and I like the 4 cost 6 health um range champion archetype.
Yeah.
Um Queso is really silly. I'd probably vote Queso.
I would vote Queso too. He's very silly.
Good stuff. Well,
He's a 4-cost 6 health champion as well.
hey. Well, next time, I mean, it won't take us quite as long to finish out. I guess, yeah, no, this is
Yeah,
too much for tonight. And then we'll have
too
all the
much.
commons, and then maybe after that we can like talk about events or something. But what is everyone else's favorites? Hopefully we will answer all the questions. What are the favorites? What are the best?
If my 3
Next
favorite
time.
champions don't win, I'm gonna riot.
Riot all you want. Everyone riot. I can't believe we took out Silts round one. Over Midi was fucking bored. Savannah elves suck. Shit
You
deck.
know what? You know what? Should we put Silts up there for you? Kairu was great. Silts is also great. I was thinking I was like 50-50 on that.
Let's yeah, I want Sills.
Put Silts up there. That's fine.
All right. Thank you. And this
Just know
lets us do Silt versus Varn, which is interesting as
yeah.
hell.
Just know that in my heart, I chose Midi Kairu.
Ikari's gone. Erased.
No.
Does get points for being a cat, I admit.
Uh-huh. But he's not just a cat. He's a cat with a halo. This is not real at this point.
I just gotta this is not real at this point. Oh, that was from you. I was like, oh, let's see who that was from.
All right. Good arguing.
Yeah, well, we were way too friendly. Next time, I'm coming
Mistakes
in.
were going up.
Yeah, coming in with a mindset of no cooperation, my way or the highway.
Well, okay.
Yeah, everyone else join us next time whenever the heck we do this again for our like 4-part series. I guess this is gonna be.
I guess so. If it could have been in one part.
Could have been. This has been 2.5 hours.
Well, we could have finished the champs if only someone wasn't napping.
I might have been napping. I admit. Might have happened. All right. Well, I'll catch you next time then.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.
This is not real at this point.
He stays with us in spirit. Oh, I need to go to. I want to play some games. I'm tempted. I'm tempted just to put a quick one in the queue. I admit. Stop. Don't tell me to do it. Just really quick. How long could it take? How long could it take just to drop a quick game in the queue? Really quick. Nothing special. God, why does it load every time now? It's gonna take 5 minutes to queue, and no, I'm going I'm going to bed. Hopefully we stream more sometime soon. 4 hours later. Oh, I would, but then I have to play High Elves. I don't want to play High Elves. Man, I do want it though. No, let me build up my own anticipation for next time. I'll be just itching to summon next time. Thanks everyone for watching. I will hopefully be back soon. We'll do more with Beans soon and play some more ranked games. We still gotta become a Grandmaster of High Elves, happening soon. Gonna happen. Yeah, catch you guys later. Bye.